My name is Grace. I'm not sure where to begin. I've been sitting here, staring at this blank screen for almost an hour now. There's a part of me that doesn't want to go back, doesn't want to open those old wounds again. But maybe if I tell this story, someone out there will feel less alone. Maybe someone will learn something I couldn't see back then. So here it goes. I was 26 when I met Liam. It was a Thursday. Rainy, gray, a little cold. I remember because my shoes were soaked by the time I reached the coffee shop near 8th Avenue. I had just started a new job in a small design firm downtown, and I didn't know many people in the city. Everything still felt unfamiliar. New streets, new apartment, new routines. I was lonely, but I didn't want to admit it. He was sitting at the corner table by the window, wearing a dark green hoodie and messy hair like he didn't really care. He looked peaceful, like the kind of person who doesn't rush for anything. I guess that's what pulled me in. That stillness. There weren't any empty seats except the one at his table, so I asked if I could sit. "Sure," he said, smiling, "as long as you don't mind me typing loudly." I smiled back. I don't mind at all. We didn't talk much that first day, just a few words here and there. I watched raindrops race down the window while he typed something that looked like poetry, or maybe a screenplay. He seemed deep, mysterious, that kind of person you want to figure out, or fix. Maybe that was my first mistake. A few days later, I saw him again. Same table, same coffee shop. This time he waved. I don't know why, but I felt something, like butterflies. It had been a while since I felt that. We started meeting often after that, sometimes by accident, sometimes on purpose. We'd talk about music, movies, books. He loved old records and hated cold pizza. He wrote songs but never sang them for anyone. He made me laugh with these dry jokes that no one else found funny. But I did. He made me feel seen, like I wasn't just some quiet girl in a new city trying to figure her life out, like I mattered, and maybe that's why I fell so fast. Liam was different from other guys I dated. He didn't send good morning texts or ask me how my day was every evening. He didn't open doors or plan dates. He wasn't sweet in the usual ways. But he was honest. At least I thought he was. And when he looked at me, I felt like I was the only person in the room. You know that feeling? Like the world pauses just for a second, and it's only the two of you? God, I wish I could go back and tell that girl to be careful. But love makes you blind, or maybe it just makes you hope too much. We started spending more time together. I'd bring him lunch when he was working on his songs. He'd walk me home sometimes, even though his place was in the other direction. We never really said what we were. He didn't like labels. "Let's just be," he used to say. So I just was. One night, I made him dinner at my place. Pasta with garlic bread. Simple, but it felt like a big deal. I lit candles. I wore the red sweater I knew he liked. He kissed me that night, soft, slow, like he had all the time in the world. And that's when I thought, maybe this is it. Maybe he's the one. But deep down, there were signs. Little things. He'd cancel plans last minute. He'd disappear for a day or two without a message. He said he hated being on his phone. I believed him. He wasn't like the others. He was different, remember? God, I hate that word now. Still, I waited. I waited when he was busy. I waited when he was tired. I made excuses when my friends asked where he was. I said things like, "He's just private," or "He's been through a lot." Maybe he had. I never really knew. He didn't like talking about the past. Said it was too heavy. But one night changed everything. It was a Friday. I was supposed to meet him at his place. I bought wine, wore a dress. I even baked those stupid chocolate cookies he liked. I knocked. No answer. I called. No reply. I waited on the steps for almost an hour. Then I saw him walking down the street with another girl. She was laughing, holding his hand. And he looked happy, so damn happy. I didn't say anything. I couldn't move. I just watched. Like my heart had stopped beating and I was outside my own body. He didn't even see me. I went home and cried until I couldn't breathe. I remember thinking, what did I do wrong? Was I not enough? That question stayed with me for weeks. He messaged me 2 days later like nothing happened. Said he'd been busy and lost track of time. I didn't respond. I wanted to. God, I wanted to. Just to hear him say something. Anything. That made it make sense. That made me feel like I wasn't crazy. But I didn't. That silence, it hurt more than anything. And still I missed him. I missed his voice, the way he said my name, the way he made the world feel less scary even for a little while. Isn't it funny how you can miss someone who broke you? I started writing in a journal after that. Just small thoughts. Feelings. Questions. Mostly questions. Like, why did I ignore the signs? Why do we fall for people who can't love us back? And why did I think I could change him? Maybe it's because when you're lonely, even a little attention feels like love. Or maybe, deep down, I wanted to fix him, because fixing him felt easier than fixing myself. I don't know. But what I do know is, I wasn't the only one. There are so many of us out there. Girls, women, even men. Giving everything to people who give back just enough to keep us hanging on. It's not love, it's survival. And we deserve more than just survival. I didn't date anyone for a long time after Liam. I couldn't. Every time someone showed interest, I pulled away. I was scared of falling again, scared of believing again. And still, I thought about him, about what we had, or what I thought we had. I wondered if he ever thought about me. Probably not. But even if he did, it doesn't matter. Because now, I see things differently. I'm not perfect. I made mistakes. I ignored my gut. I settled for less. But I also loved. Fully. Deeply. Honestly. And that's something to be proud of. Because love, real love, isn't weak. Even if it ends. Even if it hurts. It teaches you, it grows you, and it prepares you for the kind of love that doesn't make you question your worth. That's the kind I'm waiting for now. Not perfect, but real. By grace, it took me a long time to feel like myself again. Honestly, I'm not even sure I'm fully there yet. Some mornings I still wake up and think about him. Not in the same way, not with longing or sadness. Just with this strange quiet, like remembering an old scar that doesn't hurt anymore but still catches your eye. After Liam, everything slowed down. The world didn't feel as bright. My favorite songs sounded different. Coffee didn't taste the same. I stopped going to that little cafe on 8th Avenue because every corner of it smelled like him. His cologne, his voice, his presence. I tried to stay busy. Work, Netflix, long walks in the park. I deleted his number. I even blocked him on Instagram, even though he barely posted. But none of it really helped at first. Because when you fall for the wrong person, you don't just lose them. You lose the version of yourself that believed in them, that trusted too easily, that hoped too much, and you grieve that version of you. One night, maybe 2 months later, I found myself crying on the bathroom floor after a long day. I had run into a couple holding hands in the grocery store. It was such a simple thing. They were just laughing about what kind of cereal to get. But it hit me so hard, because I never had that with Liam. We had intensity, mystery, chemistry, but not the small everyday love. Not the love that feels safe. The kind where someone shows up for you, even when it's boring, even when it's hard. I think deep down I knew that all along, but I didn't want safe back then. I wanted passion, fire, magic. I didn't understand that fire can burn you if you stay too long. My friends tried to help. Amy came over with wine and movies. Kate made me go to yoga, even though I was terrible at it. "Just breathe," she'd say, laughing. I didn't want to breathe. I wanted to scream. I wanted to text him. I wanted him to say, "I made a mistake. It was always you." But he never did. And over time, I stopped expecting him to. That was the first sign of healing. Healing is weird. It doesn't look like the movies. It's not clean or pretty. It's messy. Some days you feel okay. Other days, one stupid song on the radio makes you cry in the middle of traffic. There's no timeline, no guidebook. You just keep waking up. One morning, about 4 months after everything ended, I looked in the mirror and saw something different. My eyes weren't so heavy. My smile wasn't fake. I looked alive again. That scared me, because it meant I was letting go, and I didn't know who I was without the pain. I had built so much of my identity around loving him, around trying to be good enough for him, around the hope that maybe one day he'd love me back the same way. But love that makes you feel small isn't love. It's control. It's a mirror of your own wounds. I started therapy, just once a week. Talking to a stranger about my heart felt weird at first, but it helped. She asked me questions I didn't want to answer, like, what were you getting from that relationship? Why do you feel responsible for someone else's behavior? Do you believe you deserve to be loved without conditions? I didn't know what to say. No one had ever asked me those things before. Turns out I had some healing to do long before I met Liam. He was just the mirror, the trigger, not the cause. Sometimes we fall for the wrong person because we're trying to fix something inside ourselves. We think if we can make them love us, then maybe we'll finally feel worthy. But that's a trap, because you can't force someone to love you. And more importantly, you shouldn't have to. Love isn't supposed to feel like begging. It's supposed to feel like coming home. It took me almost a year to date again. Even then, I was scared. Every time someone said something nice to me, I questioned it. Every time a guy smiled, I looked for red flags. I was so afraid of falling into the same pattern. And honestly, I still am sometimes, but I'm learning. Learning to slow down. To listen to how I feel, not just what I want to believe. Learning that I don't have to chase love. That if it's right, it'll stay. And learning that the most important relationship in my life is the one I have with myself. I go to that coffee shop again now. It doesn't hurt anymore. I sit by the window sometimes, just like he used to. And you know what? I love the rain now. It reminds me that even the darkest days pass. One day last month, I saw a couple sitting where Liam and I used to sit. They were laughing over 2 messy croissants, brushing crumbs off each other's shirts. It made me smile, not with sadness, with hope. Because I know I'll have that one day, the right way, the safe way, the kind of love that doesn't confuse me, or break me, or make me feel like I have to earn it. I want someone who meets me halfway, someone who asks me how my day was and listens, someone who knows that love is in the details, the coffee in the morning, the forehead kiss before bed, the quiet moments in between. Until then, I'll keep choosing myself. Because falling for the wrong person taught me something I never expected. I am enough, even when they leave, even when they lie. Even when it feels like it's all my fault. It's not. You are not unlovable because someone couldn't love you right. They were just not your person. And maybe they were never meant to be. A letter to you, if you've been there too. If you've ever fallen for the wrong person, I want you to know this. You are not stupid. You are not weak. You are human. You saw the good in someone, and you loved with your whole heart. That's not something to be ashamed of. That's something to be proud of. Even if it didn't last. Even if it broke you. Because real love, real strength, isn't about staying in pain. It's about learning when to walk away. So if you're hurting right now, if you're crying in the bathroom like I once did, if you're wondering why they didn't choose you, please remember this. Their rejection does not define your value. You are already enough, more than enough. And the right person, they will see that from the very beginning. Until then, heal, cry, write, talk, grow. Take your time. And when you're ready, love again. Not because you need to, but because you want to. From a place of wholeness. From a place of peace. From a place of knowing what you truly deserve. If this story touched your heart or helped you in any way, please share it with someone who needs it. Subscribe to our channel for more real, emotional English stories that help you learn while you feel. And remember, you're never alone.